Hello, dear members of the Korg EMX community out there. Today I want to make a new tutorial and talk a little bit about sound design on the Korg EMX. And I can't even say enough how much I like this machine, because I think it's got so much character to it and it's really fun to work with. But you have to get a little bit into detail and see what you can do with all the tools that you get, like the LFO and the envelopes and all that. And often you have to use workarounds. And sometimes when you mess around with sounds and you find something interesting. And what I recently found out is that it's possible to make a kick and snare track with just one part of the EMX. When you choose the right wave and you manipulate it the right way, then you end up getting something like this. This is just one part, a solo, just one part here, and it's a kick and snare on just one track. Maybe a little bit, a lot of reverb here. Maybe I'll turn that down a little. And also I'm using an effects chain here that consists of a BPM delay, then a reverb and a compressor, all set in a row, and then some of the synth parts going only to effects 2 and 3 in a row, some going nowhere, no effects sent here. And yeah, one part going all the way through the effects chain with the delay and reverb and compressor. And also the drums. For example, this kick and snare track is going through the reverb and the compressor. Okay, and so for this track I'm using the big break wave, and if you listen to this a little more neutral, without any effects and no LFO depth, then it just sounds like this. It's a massive kick, it's the heaviest kick in the EMX here. And now all that separates the kick and the snare sound using this wave is just the pitch. And so the LFO is set to pitch, and I have it on -48. I have the BPM sync on and a square wave selected for this. Speed is 3/8 for the LFO, and pitch is turned all the way up to 63, and then I have the effects chain on. It's a bit loud, and then I turned the level down because a lot of the volume comes from the compressor. The compressor is set to 89 for edit 1, and attack is 0. Or maybe I should give it a little more attack, a little softer attack. Okay. So that's the kick and snare track. I did something else to it, but I'm going to explain a little later. Then in this pattern I have another interesting sound, which is an 808 bass wave in the PCM Plus comb filter section here. It's number 32. And this part sounds like this. It also goes through the reverb and compressor. It has a bit of a funny attack to it, but then it sounds like a muted guitar sound or something. And I did this by also putting the LFO on sync, using a saw wave, and then depth plus 57, high pass filter, or speed was, let me see, 1/8, and tempo for the whole pattern is 98, by the way. Okay, oh no, wait, okay, I have it on oscillator edit 2. Comb pitch is set to 0, feedback is 101. I can make it more aggressive when I turn feedback up. Okay, but I like it like this. Drive is set to 45. EG intensity 0. EG time doesn't really matter since intensity is set to 0. It's on 127. Okay. Cut off 40, resonance is 16. And now I'm just going to bring in the kick and snare again and just listen to how this complements each other. I think it works quite nicely here. And I have another track, which is number 5, which also goes along with this very nicely. And that's a clavinet sound, also comb filter. And it sounds quite nice when I use cut off now on the bandpass filter. And I'm going to bring the rest of the pattern in. And I said that I did one more thing to the kick and snare part. In order to demonstrate this, I'm going to solo these 3 parts again. I've recorded for the kick and snare. I recorded a motion sequence manipulating the depth of the LFO. You can see when I'm on step edit that on the first step I have a value of -48. I'm going to activate it now, the motion sequence. For 2 bars, then it switches to 42, and see how the pitch drops down. Then I have it on bar number 5, it is -40, and then it goes back up again to -42 again. And this way, the pitch of the kick and snare follow the rest of the synth parts. If I just turn this on now, pitch drops down. Okay, and all the rest. And the beauty about this motion sequence is you can switch it off anytime and the pitch for kick and snare will stay the same. And that's another variation. Just switching motion sequence on and off. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye bye.